Welcome back to Indonesia, the 12th round of the FIA Motocross World Championship. We are at Samota Sumbawa, beautiful island here, about 1,300 kilometers east of Jakarta. This is the MXGP of Indonesia, and we will get a winner here after race 2. Coming into this one, Jorge Prado has 3 victories in Indonesia alone, all of those in the MX2 category. Tim Geiser has 2. Both of those will be lining up next for MXGP Race 2. Who will it be that stands on the top step of the podium today? Tim Geiser was victorious in Race 1 ahead of Jorge Prado and Ruben Fernandez, with Glenn Koldenoff and Robin Fevre rounding out the top 5. We'll see the highlights in a few moments, but temperatures nudging 30. Feels a lot hotter than that, though, to be fair, outside. And very humid, not as windy or breezy as it was the last couple of days either, so the riders really feeling it today. The racetrack here, just over 1,700 metres long. It's stony underneath now, the ground just starting to harden up underneath, the loam being pushed to the outside, but still quite tricky in that respect. You just don't know whether the front or the back is going to go. And as we saw in MX2, Race 2 a few moments ago, few front end washouts. Very unpredictable now, late on in the day here on day 2. Great crowd in here today. A lot of fans out on the hillside and all around the racetrack here in Indonesia. Very well supported from the local contingent. So thanks to you guys for that, being a part of this event this weekend, round 12. We'll take a look at the highlights now, but we also will speak to a couple of riders as well ahead of the race. Ben Watson got caught at the gate at the start of race 1. Tim Geiser down the inside for his 4th Foxhole shot of the campaign. Around the outside, Jorge Prado tried to get the better of Geiser. He knew he was there. He kept the Spaniard to the outside of his left elbow. There was no way through. Fernandez was 3rd. Koldenoff was 4th. Roman Fevre lucky to get away with that whilst in 6th place, chasing down the 41 of Jonas. And then Jonas lost the back end here, handed a position, 5th place, to Roman Fevre. Koldenoff then in 4th under pressure from the number 3. Koldenoff sick during the night, so it was even a miracle that he was out there riding today. Then Jonas at the inside of Beaton. Jed Beaton just left the door open whilst in 7th place, and then he lost a position to Calvin Vallanderen for 8th. Beaton was now 9th. That was just after the halfway stage of the race. Jeremy Seawer, another rider who'd been sick all weekend, started 14th, got up to 12th, eventually came home in 12th after Calvin Vallanderen went out of 8th place with some kind of technical issue on lap 11. Ruben Fernandez started to close in on Jorge Prado as the 2 Spaniards fought over 2nd and 3rd place. And there was a late surge from Jordi Tixier. First he found his way past Nick Lapucci to move into 10th place, and then he went after Beaton for 9th. Fevre got close to Koldenoff on several occasions, but just wasn't able to find his way through. Those 2 came home 4th and 5th. Tim Geiser, though, in a class of his own in race 1, went on to win for the 12th time this season. Right, I wonder who we've got for pre-grids this time around. Well, Calvin Vallanderen did catch up with Steph Wentworth a few moments ago, and let's hear what happened to the Geben van Venrooy Yamaha rider who went out of 8th in that first race.
Hello everyone, we're on the grid for the final race of this weekend, and here with Calvin Vallanderen of Geben van Venrooy Yamaha Racing. Oh, that's a mouthful. Calvin, talk to us a little bit, because you were running quite well in the first race, but we did see you drop down a little bit. Just talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I was running quite well in 8th, I think, and I was quite comfortable there. About 5-10 minutes to go, my bike started to bog, and it got worse and worse, so I decided to anyway, hopefully it's solved now for second motor and we can have a good one.
Amazing, and we hear that it was your birthday this weekend, so could we maybe see you on the podium for a little birthday celebration?
I mean, now it's quite a far shot with the DNF in the first race, but I'll definitely do my best.
Okay, well, best of luck. Thank you so much. Okay, and we are going to be seeing the final race of the MXGP Indonesia very shortly. Stick with us.
So if you couldn't understand what Calvin was saying, it was something along the lines of... A little bit windy down there while that interview was being played. Anyway, let's take a look at the top 5 in the championship, shall we? Ahead of race 2, Tim Geiser now extends his lead. It was 101. He's now 117 clear of Jeremy Seewer. Prado, though, was within touching distance. He's now 5 behind the Swiss. Renault 4th. He's now 17 points ahead of Glenn Coldenhoff. But Jeremy Seewer in race 1. Not very comfortable at all. 12th for him. Calendar, here's where we are, look. MXGP of Indonesia, Samota Sumbawa on the right-hand side of the page. And then we've got them coming in quick succession. When we go back to Europe in 3 weeks' time in Czech Republic, we're back-to-back with Belgium. We've got 3 in a row in Sweden, Finland, and back in France at Saint-Jean. And then we've got 2 in a row, Turkey and Oman. And then, of course, a couple of weeks after that, the big one, the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Redbud. If you haven't got your tickets or you need more information, go to mxgp.com. And on the calendar on the sidebar, you will see there. Just click that event. All the information will be there for you. Tim Geiser lines up on pole for the 4th time this year, having won his qualifying race on Saturday. Romain Fevre goes to line 2nd, ahead of Fernandez, Prado, Alandran, Coldenhoff. Mitch Evans, who was fantastic in race 1. We never hardly saw him. He came home in 6th place. Paul Jonas goes to line 8th, ahead of Nick Lapucci and Jed Beaton. Alvin Osland for JK Racing Yamaha. Mattia Guadagnini, Ben Watson, Geordie Tixier, Lewis Stewart, Nicholas Murray, 2 Aussies making the trip across. And then Farhan Hendra Ferroci, Lionel Carroas, Jeremy Seewer and Brian Bogus. You're wondering why those 2 are there. Neither of them did the qualifying race on Saturday. Well, Seewer did a lap. Bogus didn't even go out in the first race, in the qualifying race. He did in race 1, though, and finished in 15th place on his standing construct Husqvarna. Romain Fevre was impressive in race 1. Came home in 5th, but just wasn't able to find his way by the 259 of Glenn Coldenhoff. He'll be hoping for a better start in race 2. That's the view down to that first turn from above. Riders taking their positions. Tim Geiser, the championship leader, now 117 points clear of Jeremy Seewer. Look how low the start devices are on the bikes of the factory bikes. And you see it when you see a production bike. One of the privateer guys going around yesterday doing his practice starts. Probably 3 times lower than that of a production bike. Obviously, these factory boys do a lot of testing. They find the optimum setting for their starts. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. If he beats Tim Geiser this time and can reverse that 1-2 for a 2-1, then, of course, he will be standing on the top step of the podium here, and that will be a 4-time win for Jorge Prado. Ruben Fernandez in a very good position for a podium. 3rd in race 1. Can he do anything like that in race 2 or better? And Glenn Coldenhoff also in with a shout at the podium. 4th in race 1. How's he feeling after that first race? Are there any after effects from the illness he picked up overnight? And Romain Fevre also knows he can get a podium here this weekend. Mitch Evans, 6th in race 1. Fantastic ride for the Team HRC rider, teammate to your winner from race 1, Tim Geiser. Again, another rider that's been feeling a little bit under the weather. Didn't finish the warm-up session this morning. Wasn't even sure if he was going to ride, but he did ride, and he came home with a decent point haul as well. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. The MXGP of Indonesia here at Samota Sumbawa, MXGP race 2. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. 5-second board, about to turn. Again, the big hitters over on the left-hand side, the right-hand side as they get ready to charge down into turn 1. A good jump for Fevre. He puts the squeeze on Geiser early. But it's Prado around the outside with a foxhole shot once again. And Prado, for the 12th time this year, grabs that all-important lead at the first time of asking. But look at the response from Geiser, already into 2nd, around the outside of Fevre, who responds as well. And Fernandez down the inside moves into 3rd place, puts Geiser back into 4th. The champ was not expecting that. Prado under attack from Fevre as well. frantic opening first lap here between the big hitters, Prado, Fevre, Fernandez, Geiser, and Jonas in there in 5th place. Koldenhoff 6th, Valandrin 7th, Evans 8th, Beaton 9th, Siwa 10, Guadagnini in 11th place. Then we've got Tixier 12, Watson 13, Stewart, Osland, Lapucci, Bogus, Murray. And Geiser up to 3rd with that move on Fernandez. The first move of the race then. Goes after the number 3 of Romain Fevre. Stays lower in the turn, looking for optimum drive. Quick pull of the tear off there, and another bobble on the top of the hill there. Fevre didn't get the distance, landing it in a lot of back roost on the top there, almost snatching the handlebars out of his hands. Prado not ready for this kind of intensity from Fevre on this opening lap. Working their way past pit lane for the first time. Choice of lines there. Fevre goes the long way round, loses a little bit of ground to the Spaniard. But it's Prado who leads. Fevre ducking his head to avoid the roost. Are we jumping downhill today, boys, in the second race? Yes or no? Well, Prado is. And Fernandez. Very tricky turn 2 uphill towards turn 3, out of that off-cambered right-hander over those waves. It's hard packed, there are a lot of stones there. The gap between the first two, nothing. About 8/10 in it between Prado and Fevre. Geiser right there in 3rd place. Start of the race, we said if Prado could reverse the positions from race 1, he could be standing on the top step of the podium. Well, with him leading the way and Geiser in 3rd, he is leading the overall classification at the moment. Geiser needs to win this one to take the overall. And he cuts to the inside of Fevre. And it's a sweet move from the Slovenian. Still got work to do, but an easy pass in the end. Geiser means business. Charge downhill. We'll get a replay of that in a moment, I'm sure. But made light work. And he's going after Prado immediately. Fans absolutely all over the circuit here. Getting into this race. Right, as Geiser closes down on Prado. Watch this move here from Geiser. Came from about 4 bike lengths back, snuck to the inside, got it stopped earlier than Fevre, who ran wide. He was on the gas earlier as well. Slipped up the inside of the number 3 and into 2nd. Great move that from Geiser. And closing in on Prado, who will triple downhill here this time. Geiser will go to the inside at the bottom of the hill. Smooth the line on the exit again. Tell you what, playing with the boundaries of the racetrack there, Prado. Back end wanting to light up. Cost him time. He was hesitant to get on the gas. Six world titles here, fighting over the lead. There was a nervous look over the shoulder there from Prado. Will he be a match for Geiser this race, this time around? Geiser making him think outside the box, outside, inside. Getting on the gas earlier, getting good drive up the hill. He'll go the long way round the outside. What a move from Geiser. Prado comes back for more though. No way through. A little bit untidy there for Geiser at the top of the hill, but he leads on lap 3. 3 laps to go from 3rd to 1st. Tim Geiser is just on another planet at the moment. Race 1, he was a comfortable 5 seconds clear when the checkered flag fell over Jorge Prado. Prado knows there's an overall on the line here. He has to respond. He has to fight back. And if he's to stand on the top step of the podium, he has to go after Tim Geiser and take the win away from him. Simple as that. But will the Red Bull Gas rider have enough in reserve to go toe-to-toe with the championship leader? And Roman Fevre, what will he say about it all? Because he's lurking dangerously in the background there. He'll definitely be keeping Prado honest. And Fernandez hasn't got away either. So much easier to get the distance down there, isn't it? Paul Jonas joining the party. He's there in 5th place on the standing construct, Husqvarna. .201.1 for Geiser, 203.6, 203.5, Prado Fevre. Fernandez 202.4, closing in on Fevre, as you can see, in 4th place, number 70 for Honda 114 Motorsports, and he's bringing Jonas with him. Is this going to be the best race of the day? Evans up to 6th again. He's found his way past Glenn Coldenhoff. So Evans on the charge as well. Back end getting a little bit leery on the rear wheel of the number 70, Ruben Fernandez there. Jonas trying to cut to the inside of the Spaniard. Fernandez gets better distance over that little city step down. Evans. Good performance this from the Australian. Closing right in. He'll be the 3rd rider in shot any moment now as he closes in on Jonas. Getting better distance over the tabletop there as well. As Fernandez trying to lock onto the rear wheel of Fevre. High speed turn 14 into a slower turn 15. Mitch Evans looking at 7th overall at the moment, as he was in Germany. Fernandez needs to put a couple of big laps in here to stop Fevre getting away from him. Mitch Evans doing the same to Jonas. The Australian looking to pounce on the Latvian. Will he go down the inside? No, not quite. Back end lights up on the exit of turn 2 though. Not an easy corner to navigate. Impressive ride this though from the Aussie. Meanwhile, his fellow countryman Jed Beaton in 11th place with 68. Watson a couple of places further back. Definitely looking to muscle aside Jonas. He might get the opportunity. The next turn, can he go wide and cut back? Yes or no? Well, he tries to, and it almost works for him as well. This time around, back end lighting up just as he got on the gas, just when he needed that traction at the rear wheel. Jonas hasn't got time to think at the moment, just riding on instinct. He knows there is a threat from behind. Evans losing ground there on that uphill wave section that is just chewed to bits. Top 4 overall in the classification at the moment. Geiser would win with 2 wins. Prado would be second with 2 seconds. Fernandez would have a 3rd and a 4th and be 3rd overall on 38. Fevre would take 36 points at the moment. So if Fevre finds his way past Prado, then he'll be on the podium instead of Fernandez. So a lot riding on the line here at the moment, even with 20 minutes plus 2 to go. And with lap times in the 2 minutes, 24 minutes remain as Jeremy Seewer closes in on Calvin Verlanderen. Verlanderen 9, Seewer 10. The Geben van Venrooy Yamaha rider trying to fend off the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, who muscles down the inside of the South African, takes a position away. A little bit of whiskey on the exit of the turn. He's still got some work to do. Somehow he manages to keep it on 2 wheels. Seewer now 9th. A better response in race 2, this from Seewer. didn't get a lot of track time yesterday. Meanwhile, Jonas and Evans charge downhill. 5th and 6th for the Latvian and the Australian. Oh, and Jonas loses the back end on the exit of turn 6. Costs him a couple of positions as well. Koldenhoff has gone through. I don't think, no, there's Guadagnini. So Evans now 5th, Koldenhoff 6th, Jonas in 7th. He was under pressure from Evans. Back end just came around on him. Did he just catch a slip patch? Was it a rock? Was it just too much gas at the wrong time? Just watch this here. We have our moon cam all over it. There you go, bottom left. Oh, lost the front, and then the back, just no drive. So Jonas with more work to do. Now he's under the cosh from Guadagnini in 8th place. The Red Bull Gas rider. He'll be picking up 8th overall. As it stands right now, Roman Febvre looks to have contained Ruben Fernandez for now. Doesn't like the fact that he could have been terminated earlier on. Pratt, so nice. Back end, steps out though, as he came into land. You run the risk, don't you? Lucky to get away with that one, Ruben Fernandez on the landing zone. And Febvre, a nervous look over the shoulder in 3rd. Is that a telltale sign? A little bit of fatigue creeping in on the Frenchman, yes or no? Watch this. He just takes a long look back, doesn't he? Still coming back for more, isn't he? Fernandez. I'm sure the crew would have told him that he's on the podium as it stands right now. But as in any race situation, the board signals will be out. You can, you must pass, all the obvious things that the rider doesn't know when he's out there on track. Nice and easy through that turn. Racetrack is actually, after yesterday, where it was still pretty high speed, the concern in the paddock overnight was it's probably not going to really rough up, but they've ripped it in places, watered it, kept on watering it, and you can really see now how the nature of the ground has changed. It's probably how it should have been this time yesterday after the qualifying race, had we been in Europe, let's say, with support classes. But just MX2, MXGP this weekend. Gap between Geiter and Prado, 2.8 seconds it was at the last split. That final split starting just the left, right, just before pit lane. Jorge Prado continues to chase Tim Geiter. If he takes the race win, he wins the overall Grand Prix as well. Sure he knows that as well. Right, Jeremy Seewer is all over the back of Guadagnini as well. Right on cue, dropping down into turn 2. Guadagnini 8, Seewer 9. 2:03.7 for Seewer, 2:06.5 Guadagnini a lap ago. And Jonas just ahead of him as well, hasn't recovered from that fall. Just wonder whether the wind has gone from the sails of Jonas. He was fighting for 5th place. He's now in 7th and under attack from Guadagnini and Seewer. Landron just behind them as well. Then we've got Beaton in 11th and Tixier in 12th place. Beaton just set his fastest lap of the race last time around in that 11th place. Lapucci has moved by Watson into 13th, so Watson now 14th. He's got Osland all over the back of him as well, has the Brit. Seewer homing in and looking to strike on Guadagnini, who is a sitting target at this point. Oh, a little bit loose through there, Jezza. Not easy though, is it? Back end, so much going on that part of the racetrack. It's loose and loamy and sandy and a little bit oily, greasy, the type of dirt. And then you've got all those holes and ruts. And Calvin Valandren was telling me this morning before warm-up that there's so much in those deep turns as well. You can't see the stones and those edges. Seaworth almost catching himself out there through that turn as Valandren closing in on the factory Yamaha man. Oh, and he loses the front end. Does Jeremy Seaworth. Absolutely wringing the neck off that factory Yamaha, the number 91, as the 10 closes in. Look over the shoulder there from Seaweed as well. Slight bobble there for Valandren. He looks to get in out of the turn early, turn 16. Both follow each other high and wide into that final turn before dropping back onto the start straight. Not been the best lap for these two because they've allowed Guadagnini just to sneak a little bit of that ground on them. But then, having said that, Guadagnini coming back into play. Watch this here, front end already started going before that, before we switched from one camera position to the other. Valandren probably fresh to the daisy after going out of race 1 on lap 12 with a technical gremlin. Seaworth got himself right back onto the rear wheel of the 101. Guadagnini, sponsoring his Yamaha, closing down on the Red Bull Gas once again. Still fighting over 8th place. Prado will take over second position in the championship from Seaworth, who arrived here 18 points clear of Prado at the start of the day, but with Prado taking second in race 1 and Seaworth 12th. And Prado second and Seaworth 9th now. Prado will have a 5-point advantage over Seaworth. Guadagnini putting up a brave fight here in that 8th place. Oh, back end this time for Seaworth as he continues to apply the pressure to the Italian. Every time he gets close, some horrible holes coming out of 16 into 17 there, aren't there? Chipper plus. Mechanic for Seaworth. Board there, body pos. Maybe just telling him to think about body position. Not sure where. Maybe he needs him to stand up a little bit more. Well, he stands up through the waves. Got no option but to do that through there. 9 laps complete. Race 1 was a 17-lapper. Geiser and Prado not separated by much still, less than 4 seconds at the top of the field. Febvre only 1.9 behind Prado. Oh, Seaworth! Big moment again for the number 91. Almost out of 9th place. Wasn't a great landing either, was it? Could have caught his legs. Watch this. Comes into land, scrubs, cross ruts, back end all over the place, and legs getting caught there. Very lucky with that, Seaworth. Does like to keep it loose, though, on occasion. Meanwhile, first, second, and third, Geiser, Prado, Febvre, separated by about 5.5 seconds at the moment. Geiser top of the hill, Febvre here bottom of the hill, and closing in on Prado, is he? 1.5 seconds a gap between those two. Febvre set his fastest third sector of the race. That time around, it was a 33.2 for Prado, 32.9 Febvre, but then gained back immediately by Prado in the next sector. 9.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Just kind of waiting for this race to fire into life between any one of these top 3. What do they have left to give? Who's going to dig the deepest and go for broke? Or is it just going to be as you are? You, sir. Oh, no, before you. You, after you, sir. Very gentlemanly. Because they're all sort of pretty much about 2.5, 3 seconds apart at the moment, these three. No one really willing to risk anything. Guys sitting pretty at the head of the field. 3.5 seconds clear of Prado, who's only 1.7 seconds clear of Fevre. Fernandez last time around, 2:03.5, so just starting to fall off the pace of the top three at the moment, the Spaniard, who will be on the podium for the second time this year, if he can stay where he is at least. But Romain Fevre, who returned to action 2 weeks ago in Germany, round 11, 5th overall. Looking to finish 4th overall this weekend, and in 3 weeks' time, he would have done a lot more work, and we'll be going to look at Czech Republic, a place he knows very well and likes very much as well. Will we see him go 5, 4, and then 3rd overall, or maybe even better in Czech Republic? Who knows? But either way, he's definitely shaking things up, hasn't he? Getting in amongst it straight away on his return from injury. Kawasaki Racing team rider from France, former world champion, of course. Actually, gap between 1st and 2nd as they drop downhill. Fevre looks like he's just lost a little bit of ground this time around, though. 2.9 the gap between Geiser and Prado at the last split. Blue flag's being waved. Back marker comes through, closely followed by Geiser. And the gap back out to 3 seconds, 3.1. Just judging by the split times, Watson moves into 13th. Ahead of Beaton. So on lap 11, Watson takes a position away from the Australian. Here he is, and there they are. Race 1, Ben Watson 14th. Nick Lapucci ahead of him on the Fantic Factory Maddie in 12th. Tixier a couple of seconds further up the track in 11th place. Tixier, fantastic ride in race 1 for 9. A late surge from the former MX2 world champion, but here is Ben Watson. Full house over at Kawasaki Racing Team for the second successive weekend. With Fevre and Watson then. That's the gap between Watson and Lapucci. Chasing the dirt. Around the outside there. Well, there it is. Flash of red. That was Lapucci, the Italian. Jeff Beaton just losing touch already after Ben Watson going by. Alvin Osland closing in on Beaton as well. JK Racing Yamaha. Steps down. Back end steps out of line when he lands as well. Watson. Getting over that. See how dusty, or not dusty, powdery the dirt is. Heavy, thick dirt where the rider's been landing, kicking back the dirt, and obviously that landing zone now, if you're short, definitely grabs both wheels and the ones on the bike if you're not careful. First 4 pretty much equidistant in terms of how far they are separated apart. Four and a half to go. Oh, and slightly offline there, off track. Jorge Prado. That will play into the hands of Fevre, but he's got a back marker to deal with at the top of the hill. Just got offline, didn't he, Prado, coming out of that turn. ran it wide and then was in all the heavy stuff and maybe the wrong side of the markers as well up the hill. Nothing you can do about that though. Once you're offline there, that's it. That heavy dirt definitely pulled him in. Watch this here. Comes through over the berm here, look. And then just wrestling with the bike and wheel spinning up and then gets back in line at the top of the hill. Sun coming out from behind the clouds on what has been a very hot day here in Indonesia on the island of Sumbawa. Looks like he's recovered quickly to keep Febvre at bay. That gap still 2.5 seconds between the Red Bull Gas and the Kawasaki factory rider, Kawasaki racing team. And then back to 2 seconds, and then we'll see what happens as they hit the line this time around. Geiser now just stretching his lead, 3.7, there he is, coming up towards us now, towards turn 3, what is also the final turn on the racetrack before the finish line. 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. In the driving seat again. 3 back-to-back wins in the middle part of the season up to this point for Tim Geiser in quick succession. Trentino, Latvia and Italy. Looking to do the same here in Indonesia, round 12. And he's hardly been challenged. Gap between him and Prado now, 4.5 seconds. There's Fernandez, bottom left, top right, Prado and Febvre. So nothing in it between the Spaniard and the Frenchman now as they prepare to drop downhill into this long, long off camber that tightens up on the exit. Prado turns it tight. Febvre takes the longer approach into turn 13. No one getting over the triple, no one wanting to get over the triple today in this second race. Evans now 5th, so when did he find his way past Koldenhoff? How many laps ago was that actually? Well, it wasn't recently, so Mitch Evans in 5th place, on course for 6th overall, his best overall finish in the season. Come up a little bit short there, Febvre. Prado, again, just too far wide there, almost hugging the banners. Still keeps Febvre behind him though, but not by much, 1.3 seconds. 3 laps to go. Prado knows if he is to win this Grand Prix, he has to step it up, and he has to step it up now. He's going to have 3 big laps in order to change the outcome of this Grand Prix as the back end just runs a little bit loose on some tree roots there. Square edge tyres with the rubber knobbles not going too well with the greasy nature of a tree root when it's all been chewed up. Febvre might have a say in all of this as well, and if he does, he'll knock Fernandez off the podium, who's been there the whole race. Fernandez 4th in the race, but with his 3rd in race 1 and 4th at the moment, he is on the podium to the tune of 2 points over Romain Febvre. But Febvre finds his way past Prado. It will be Geiser, Prado and Febvre on the podium when all is said and done. And obviously coming back from injury, the last time we saw Febvre on the podium was the final round last year. Only came back to racing 2 weekends ago, the last round in Germany. Can he give one last push try and take second away from Prado to get himself on the podium in his second race back. Gnarly old braking bumps down there and towards the final turn at the end of pit lane. No one really flexing their muscles at the moment though. 2-lap board getting ready. It's nice that from Fevre. Getting the drive and doubling his way into those waves. 2:03.9 for Geiser, 2:04.1, 2:03.8. Prado and Fevre, those two less than a second as they hit the line. 9/10 in fact. But again, Prado responds immediately. Fernandez hanging on in fourth. He's got about 14 seconds over Mitch Evans, who in turn is about 4 seconds clear, 4.5 seconds clear of Koldenoff. Koldenoff will be 5th overall. Evans will be 6th overall. Lapucci has found his way past Tixier. Lapucci now up into 11th place. So the Italian finding his way past the Frenchman. Fevre desperate to find his way by Prado. See, the body language has just gone up a notch. A little bit more intensity. A bit more urgency now from the Frenchman. Gets close but just can't execute. And Prado responding to the challenge as well. Sensing the danger from behind. We're getting ready to take the final lap board. Nothing in it between these two, Prado and Fevre, as they continue to fight over second in the race. Prado will be second overall anyway. But Romain Fevre wants the final step of the podium if he can. To do that, he has to pass the guy ahead of him, which so far has proved difficult. But he's closer than he has been all race as they head uphill into the final turn to start the final lap. Geiser over the line now with 1 to go. Eight tenths between Prado and Fevre this time around as they head into the final lap. It was 9/10 a lap ago. Who will deal with the pressure the best? Handful of clutch there from Prado as he buries the gas deep into the berm. Fevre looking to go around the outside here, looking for options now. Will he get the drive? He gets it, but he's got no options at the top of the hill. And then again, trying something else. Out of the turn early. Will he cut to the inside? Yes, he does. But short on that little double. Under pressure, Jorge Prado dealing with this very well. But Fevre just struggling to find a way through at the moment. Will he get his opportunity at the bottom of the hill here, though? He jumps to the outside. He's going to get good drive through turn 14. But will he cut back enough? He gets on the gas early. Fans on their feet. This time he goes outside, but he's going to run into the back wheel of Prado if he's not careful. An intense finish to MXGP Race 2 between Prado and Fevre. Quick pull of the tear off as he prepares to go down past pit lane for the final time. Legs off the side of the bike there. That may have been the final chance. And all of a sudden, Fevre will not find his way past. Geiser, though, immaculate once again. And for the 4th time this year, Tim Geiser will cross the line as a double race winner to win the Grand Prix here in Indonesia. And with it, he takes his 80th career race win. Prado second, Fevre third. We wait for Fernandez. Fernandez comes through now, and that's a podium for the Honda 114 Motorsports rider. Livia Lancelot not here to see it this weekend, but Mitch Evans crosses the line in 5th place. What a fantastic weekend for him. Glenn Koldenoff crosses the line 6th. Jonas, Guadagnini, Siwa and Valandrin should round out the top 10. Tim Geiser, though, immaculate once again. His 8th Grand Prix victory this year. His 41st Grand Prix win. Tim Geiser moving a step closer to a 5th world title here in Indonesia. 2nd overall for Jorge Prado. 3 consecutive podiums, 4 from the last 5 rounds now for the 61. So gaining some kind of consistency. Once again, after a 12th in Latvia, and obviously didn't start in Italy because of the fact that he had that shoulder injury. But Jorge Prado 2nd overall today with 2 second place finishes. 3rd overall, Ruben Fernandez. His 2nd podium in MXGP in his rookie season. He does it with a 3rd and a 4th. And Tim Geiser is getting ready to speak to Steph.
Tim Geiser, congratulations, winner of MXGP race 1 and 2, and overall winner this weekend. I'm sure you're really happy with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was just enjoying out there. First moto, I took a whole shot and the race was almost perfect. But second one, I have to work for it. You know, I didn't have a whole shot. I started around 4th, but then I make some nice passes and came in the lead, make a comfortable lead, and control the race until the end. So I'm super happy.
Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Tim Geiser, your winner here this weekend. Double race winner for the 4th time this year. Grand Prix victory number 8 for the season. And in terms of the championship, Tim Geiser now on 5.35 moves 125 points clear of Jorge Prado with his win here today. Right, I wonder how big the podium ceremony is going to be here now. Tim Geiser wins race 2. Comfortable win for him as well. Was just in cruise mode. Well, he just controlled the situation perfectly. Prado managed to hang on a second ahead of Fevre. Fernandez was 4th, and a fantastic ride again for Evans. Koldenoff, Jonas and Guadagnini ran out the top 8. 9th for Jeremy Siwa, and in 10th it was Calvin Valandrin. And then we had Nick Lapucci, Tixier came home in 12th, and then Ben Watson, Jed Beaton, Alvin Osland, Brian Bogus. Points on the board for the standing construct Husqvarna rider. Then we had Lewis Stewart, ahead of his buddy and teammate Nick Murray. Tim Geiser, another perfect day, this time in Indonesia for the 4th time this season, edging out Prado and Fernandez. Fernandez on the podium for the 2nd time this season. Fevre just missing out in 4th. Koldenoff rounding out the top 5. In terms of the championship, Tim Geiser now 125 points clear of Jorge Prado, who leapfrogs Jeremy Siwa. Those two now separated by 5 points. Prado started the day 18 adrift of the Swiss man. Renault and Koldenoff ran out the top 5 there. Jonas now up to 7th. Ahead of his teammate Brian Bogus. And Valandrin and Van Horebeke changed place as well. Valandrin now 9th. The Jerryman not here today. Manufacturers Championship looks good. I think we're getting ready for the podium here anyway at the MXGP of Indonesia at Samota Sumbawa, round 12 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Not sure the fans know that they are able to visit the podium area or not. You can see a lot of them now just dancing around like ants, trying to find their way home, if you like. But a well-supported event here this weekend, round 12. First time back since 2019. foxhole shot. Let's do that, shall we? Just Jorge Prado. For the 12th time this year. See the effort on his face as well. Trying to put on a brave smile, but not an easy race this weekend. Hot, humid, fast-paced track, rugged as well. But Jorge Prado now on 12, Tim Geiser on 4, Jacoby on 3. And then we have another 4 or 5 riders, all with one foxhole shot apiece this year. Right, get ready for the podium then here, round 12. The MXGP of Indonesia at Samota, Sumbawa. And his second visit to the podium in 2022 in his MXGP rookie season. Coming home with a third and a fourth. The Honda 114 Motorsports rider, Ruben Fernandez. Another third place finish for the Spaniard. And second overall, Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. And you know what? I think that's probably the first time we've had two Spaniards on the podium in the Premier class. Second overall, Jorge Prado, and of course, third for Ruben Fernandez. But Tim Geiser, Team HRC, your overall winner. Another perfect day in the 2022 season. And Tim Geiser, his 8th Grand Prix victory this season. 3 in a row, the first 3 rounds, 3 in a row, Trentino, Latvia and Italy. 2 in a row now, Germany and Indonesia. Boy, Rafli Amor, Rocket Motor Company representative, handing the third place trophy to Ruben Fernandez. No wonder that's where the name Rocket Motor Club comes from, or Rocket Motor Circuit, as we are riding today. Ruben Fernandez, third overall. The governor of West Nusa Tenggara hands the second place trophy to Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. See what I did there? Dodged that one perfectly, didn't I? But Tim Geiser, Team HRC, 2 wins out of 2. We'll take the winner's trophy here at the MXGP of Indonesia. All smiles down there, Team HRC, of course. Not sure who our distinctive gentleman was there, but team trophy to one of the technical crew there from Team HRC. No Giacomo Garibaldi this weekend, no Massimo Castelli either. Thought they would have sent up Roger Shenton, but there you go. Team trophy done. Championship leaders, red plate though. He started the day 101 points clear of Jeremy Seawer. Tim Geiser now 125 points clear of Jorge Prado. That lead just getting bigger and bigger. Top 3 here, Tim Geiser, Jorge Prado and Ruben Fernandez. Tim Geiser enjoys the Slovenian national anthem. Honda winning manufacturers, national anthem of Japan. first, second, third overall here this weekend, round 12 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Indonesia at Samota, Sumbawa. Tim Geiser, Team HRC, with a solid double moto race win. 2 wins out of 2 for the Slovenian. Second overall, Jorge Prado, Red Bull, Gas Factory Racing, and Honda 114 Motorsports rider Ruben Fernandez, third overall this weekend. And for Tim Geiser, his third success in Indonesia, having won in 2019 in Palembang and Semarang, the MXGP of Asia. He does it again here. And Sumbawa. And for Honda, that's their 4th victory around here. Of course, the first one was Calvin Belander in MX2 in 2018, and Cal Penang. So 4 HRC victories, if you like, in the last 4 years. We will talk to the top 3 in a few moments. Before that, though, let's enjoy some of the highlights from MXGP Race 2. MXGP Race 2, everybody cleanly away this time, and it was Romain Febvre who got the better of Geiser, but around the outside, it was Prado for the 12th time this year with the foxhole shot. Heading uphill, Prado led, Febvre was second, but Geiser quickly passed the Frenchman, but not for long. Got to the bottom of the hill though, a lap or so later, and he was into second place. Tim Geiser with that move on Romain Febvre. He then went around the outside, an audacious move from Geiser to go from second to first. Jeremy Seewer and Calvin Belander, they battled, but it was Seewer who held on for 9th. Belander came home in 10th, despite their close combat. Paul Jonas, bottom left, he lost the front from 5th. He ended up in 7th place. Closing stage of the race, Romain Febvre all over the back of Jorge Prado and stayed battled over second. For Prado, he needed to hang on. And for Febvre, he also needed to find his way past Prado to get on the podium, but that mistake on the final lap cost him dearly. Tim Geiser crossed the line victorious, 4 seconds clear of Prado. Febvre was third, Fernandez and Evans round out the top 5.
Tim Geiser, congratulations. That is an 8th Grand Prix victory this year. I'm sure you feel on top of the world, but there's no slowing down now, is there?
Yeah, actually I didn't hear you. What you asked?
No slowing down for you now, is there?
No, I mean, like, it was a good weekend, you know, another one, so I'm super happy. Want to say huge thank you to all my team, everybody around me. You know, we work really hard for this, and yeah, really looking forward to going in 3 weeks in Czech Republic. So gonna train hard, take a little bit of rest, and be strong there.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jorge Prado, congratulations. This is a 3rd consecutive podium for you. You seem to be on a streak of great form, but you actually had a really great start. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a good weekend today. I felt a bit better than yesterday. It was a tough track with so many stones, like when you try to go underneath the berm, so you had to be very careful every time. Team was unstoppable this weekend, so I tried very hard. Good start in the second one. I was pushing in the beginning, but you know, team just had a better pace, and he passed me. I stayed with him the whole moto, so I think it was a good one. Febvre was pushing at the end of the moto quite hard, but we are growing up. Now we have some time till the next race. We'll try to get some rest and do some good training and step it up.
Amazing, congratulations, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Congratulations on this weekend. Very, very strong for you. Just talk a little bit about that final race because